Hi, it's Sarah from A Wildly Fun Life. This is part 2 of our plum cobbler bars. So part 1, we made the honey plum jam that looks like this. Doesn't that look just amazing? With fresh plums. So that's a whole different video, but for this particular video, I am going to use the jam that I made now into plum cobbler bars. So plums are in season right now, obviously. We don't get those very much up here in northern Minnesota. But they had them. One side of the bag said prunes and the other side of the bag said plums. Okay, and I cook all the time, but I thought that I had grabbed prunes when I went to go check out. So then I was like, this is not what I wanted. So I flipped them around and then it said plums. So I don't know if they had the wrong bag or what happened, but well, I guess prunes are plums that are dried out. So I guess if I left them dry, okay, anyway, let's move on to the video. So the jam is absolutely amazing. So I used a little bit of honey in it. So it's like a honey plum jam. And so we have bees. And so I used some of our homemade honey, but you can use, or homegrown honey, I should say, but you can use any honey from the grocery store on the previous video. So we're making a 9x9 pan. And I'm gonna melt in the microwave a 1.5 cups of butter. So I'm gonna get that going and then we're gonna get the rest of it going. Okay, 9x9 pan. All right, so we need a 1.5 cups of old-fashioned oats. So we're gonna put those right in there. 1, 2, 3. Set that over there. And then we need flour, just regular flour. So it's 1 3/4 cups. Flour. So 1.5 cups. And then 3/4. 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Packed brown sugar. Okay, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I forgot my teaspoon. Just a second. Well, they are all dirty. So we're gonna go with the 4th 4 times. Isn't that always how it goes? So this was Sweet Tooth Sarah. I've changed it to A Wildly Fun Life because, like I said, I bake a lot in the holidays, but throughout the rest of the year, I do lots of other things. And my goal with my channel is to grow to a point where when my husband retires, I can do this full time. So I can have more time freedom to spend with him. So I do link a lot of stuff because I'm trying to build my income. So I'll link the ingredients. I will link outfit stuff that I use in the kitchen. So I appreciate a follow, and I also need a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. It was a little short there. I'd appreciate a follow because I'm trying to grow my channel. So I didn't have any growth from January through June on my Sweet Tooth Sarah. And so I just decided, you know, I'm gonna switch it up and do other things because we live in northern Minnesota and I'm kind of a tomboy. So I do a lot of outdoor hunting and fishing and things with my husband. And we do some traveling and, you know, some other fun things that we really wanted to expand the channel. You'll see my husband on here doing some reviews. We're testing him out a little bit on the channel. My husband is 11 years older, so we have an age gap. And he wanted to do some things, and it's hard to do with limited PTO. So I'm exploring this opportunity to see if I can be what they would call an influencer. So I'm actually influencing you to make plum cobbler bars right now. Okay, now grab the butter. I would have never probably called myself more of an influencer, but I do get a lot of people that buy some of the stuff that we recommend. So I guess you could call me an influencer. Most of it's dog stuff. If you know me or have watched my other channel that I had that I combined them now, you would know that I have my black labs. I have famous black labs. They're more famous than me, but they do some modeling and some influencer work for certain pet brands. And actually, we're going to be filming one right after this for some medicated wash because I have one really stinky dog right now. But if you look on my channel, you'll find some stuff about the dogs. Okay, so now we're going to take, preheat your oven to 350. I'm kind of an ADHD cooker. This is real life cooking. This is not a scripted television show. So, okay, so we're gonna make that, kind of crumbly. Okay, so we're gonna do 2/3 of the crumb mixture in the bottom of a 9x9 pan. I'm going to spray the pan because I don't like it when bars get stuck. A lot of times I'll use olive oil, but I was out, so I'm using Pam. All right, so we're gonna spread 2/3 of this onto the bottom. Yeah, I'm actually gonna tilt the camera a little bit so you can see the bars. Actually, let's just move you closer so you can see it because I want you to see this plum jam. Okay, so now we're gonna spread this out and we're gonna wanna press it down. Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna use my hands and I will wash them as soon as I am done because I just really want you to see how beautiful this jam is. The jam does not have any preservatives in it, so you want to make sure that you use it, relatively quickly. Okay, so now we're going to spread the cooled plum jam in an even layer over the crust. Okay. And I'm going to try to save a little bit of this because my daughter loves this jam and I wanted to send some home with her. She's here for the weekend. Okay. So that is about a cup a little under a cup. So just spread it out evenly like that. I'm gonna add a little more to this corner. Okay, I'm gonna save the rest for her. Okay, all right, so we don't wanna waste any of it. This stuff's absolutely precious. All right, now take the rest of your crumble and we're just gonna sprinkle it over the top like that. Okay, now I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees and we're gonna bake this until the streusel on top is lightly browned, 40 to 50 minutes. And then we'll be able to cut these into probably about 12 pieces. So isn't that just gorgeous? Okay, so this is just absolutely beautiful. Okay, back to me. So in the oven, 350 degrees. Like I said, this beautiful jelly. I have our jam, I keep calling it jelly. It's a Minnesota thing. This recipe is in a different video, but for these bars, I'm gonna try to combine them a little bit together, but I want to post this separate because it's so good on sourdough toast. Okay, so now the bars. Going in the oven, 350 degrees, 45 to 50 minutes until the streusel is lightly browned, and I'll show you what they look like the minute they come out of the oven. Okay, I moved outside because it is absolutely gorgeous except for the Canadian wildfire smoke, and I spend most of my Minnesota summers outside, so I had to do the rest of this outside. So these are the plum bars when they come out of the oven, so that's what they look like, lightly browned. They're amazing. So I'm going to tilt this down so you can see them. I'm going to cut them for photos. They're a little warm on the bottom, but I wanted to show you how good these are. And a lot of people really like the recipes where I actually will show you what they look like right out of the pan. Okay, yum. Okay, so they just pop right out of the pan, and look at that on the inside. Okay, so I'm gonna tilt this back up. Now I'm gonna take a bite. I have my Invisalign in, so I'm gonna actually use my hands. Yep, these are a 10. Look at how good they look. Oh, you can't get much better. Homemade plum, honey plum jam, which is in video number 1. Inside these bars, my kids are going to love these. So that's what they look like. And you're gonna wanna make these.